Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
Mema wakwaba e de ba PENDREAM TV so make sure say obe subscribe to channel no click bell so say the news to our sabit me aka ntem no watie afa so make sure say obe like na wa comment no share ama afoforo so nsaka na comment section ho so no opese wo kire wa adwen obetimi e de wa adwen kire ato honom na amanfo so anya bia kenkan na onim say PENDREAM TV de eye nsem a ekoso Ghana yam politics mu ne de ba na yasaka ya ne de abranti na so me video I saka pese no che na ye de ba nti me mo modern astro so obehwe video we amana si awie na wa kire wa adwen e comment section na se yenko video.
So what do they take us for? You want us to do averages. Which businessman goes to import items with average depreciation? Or when you want some forex to transact some business, do you pay averages or you pay the exact amount, the absolute figure? When you go to the bank or the forex bureau and they are displaying the rates, do they display it in percentages or display it in absolute figures? So what is wrong with citing the absolute figures in the analysis? Number two, the cash waterfall mechanism came into being in 2016, not 2020. The payments were coordinated by the then Deputy Energy Minister, John Jinapo. That too is a lie. And since August 2023, this government has not paid a dime.
Maybe there was a different cash waterfall mechanism that was...
But it is not different. It simply means that when some money comes, it is shared so that everybody in the chain, in the value chain in the energy sector, gets something.
That maybe there was something...
It was we who set it up in 2016 as one of the ways to address the bottlenecks that have to do with debts. Number three, let me come to Mary. It is obvious that my brother is in a government that he is not abreast of in terms of their goings on. If he was, he wouldn't even broach the story of Mary. That Mary thing was a lie. A company came to do a build, operate, transfer. If you go to buy the turbines off the shelf, it will cost $210 million off the shelf. But the turbines itself won't give you anything until you install it and operate it. So the company did a BOT, they went to buy it with their own money, came to operate it for 5 years. The total outlay was $540 million. There was no corruption. And do you know why there was no corruption? Because nobody took anything. In fact, you should read the report the Attorney General sent to the committee chaired by Kwakye, who took the matter to him to review. At the time, it was Gloria Kufu.
Gloria Kufu, yeah.
She was express that the only basis upon which she could terminate that agreement was to find evidence of corruption, but she couldn't find any. So if he sits here and tells you that there was corruption in America, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He should engage those who know. They engage in rhetoric. In fact, America, who they say was corrupt, actually paid for the stay of the committee chaired by, I think it was Philip Addison, rather, to go to Dubai for several weeks to go and investigate them. America, they paid for their trip. When they came back, they found nothing. That is why they could not do anything to anybody. As I speak to you, they've taken people to court over very flimsy matters. Very, very flimsy matters. And if you think that the NDC stole $540 million, they will leave people to walk about.
What are the matters?
Did they not go and arrest the likes of Pabna Did they not raid the house of Pabna Donko and George Napo and go over this American? Did they do anything to those people? The Attorney General was express that there was no corruption. In fact, the only corruption in America was orchestrated by President Akufo-Addo himself. When he attempted that novation deal, remember, when he caused the secretary to write to Parliament, saying that they were now going to engage in a deal worth $1 billion. Meanwhile, after 5 years, we were going to pay only $1 to take possession of that plant. That's the plant that they intend to send to Kumasi. Yet, in spite of that, they wanted to extend it by 10 years and pay $1 billion to cronies. Was the president not forced to capitulate on this? They did not come and tell us rather comically that he didn't know about it. And that, in fact, that was the first time that I am not aware became a balance in this government. You remember that? Yeah. So please go and learn your history very well before you come and engage in conceding own goals. When you mention Ameri, Akufo-Addo's corruption is written all over it, and it is documented. Number 4, he says that unemployment, and when I mentioned the 14% unemployment rate, I shouldn't use that. In one breath, I should use averages for exchange rate, but I shouldn't use average percentages. I didn't interrupt you. I shouldn't use percentages. Look, there's no sane person in this world who can tell me that an unemployment rate of 14% is better than 8%. No sane mind can make that argument. Anybody who says that must have his mind or brain examined today. It is the worst unemployment rate in living memory in Ghana. Youth unemployment alone is over 32%. Then they quickly shift the goalposts and go and say they have created more jobs. That is a flat lie led by Bawumia again, and I will demonstrate it to you. Look, in February 2021, the Minister for Employment, who actually has jurisdiction over that sector, was in Parliament to be vetted. He claimed that they had employed 3 million people. And this was at his vetting. He had been employment minister the previous 4 years and had been retained. So he was speaking on authority as a minister for employment. Then, in the same minister, on 1st September 2022, claimed that they had created 5.3 million jobs. The same employment minister. Just 1 year down the line, he claimed they had created 5.3 million jobs. Now, on 27th April 2023, Bawumia again claimed that they had created 2.55 million jobs. 2.55 million jobs. That's how many jobs Bawumia claimed they had said. Meanwhile, his employment minister, only a year earlier, had claimed that they had created 5.3 million jobs. Then, on 7th February, when he did his so-called policy speech, which nobody remembers apart from the fact that he claimed it was a myth, Bawumia again claimed they had created 2.1 million jobs.
That decreased.
So look at, so it goes up, decreases based on who is speaking. This immediately tells you that they are lying. They are fabricating figures. But what makes it even worse is that you see there's a body that collates these figures scientifically, which is the Ghana Statistical Service. In 2012, they did what they call the Ghana Living Standard Survey. If you check page 89 of their report, they reported that they had counted people who were unemployed, done a head count, and it was a total of 1,027,000 people. Look, if this government creates 2 million jobs, we will actually have underemployment in Ghana.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that we will need actually to import people.
Right.
I beg your pardon. We will need to import people from Cote d'Ivoire and elsewhere to fill the vacancies. Now, only in 2021, just 3 years ago, the Ghana Statistical Service again did a population census. They counted 1,551,000 unemployed people. If Bawumia says that in that period they had created 2.1 million jobs, they will swallow all this figure. In fact, Ghana Statistical Service again, only a few months ago, I think last month, said that between 2022 and 2023 alone, 550,000 people fell out of employment. And then when you listen to them, they say, oh, they have created about 1.2 million, but the private sector has created 900 million. Meanwhile, the Senate boss has debunked that. In fact, the fourth estate, they've done a fact check. And it shows that what they are saying is completely false. The job they've created will not exceed 300,000. Because if you check the budget, they report on this.
But that's what the fourth estate is saying. You're comparing.
No. Look, the job it is not. Listen. If you check the budget, if you check the appendices, every single year, the finance minister reports on how many people are on government's payroll they are going to employ in all the sectors and agencies. Because ministries are made up of departments and agencies, so they add all of it up and they report. It won't exceed 300,000. If you did that, and I've taken time to do the analysis between 2017 and now. So they should stop lying.
Right.
The other issue too.
Quickly.
The other issue too, that we in the NDC do not have a right to speak about doomsday. Where do they get that audacity from? That Ghanaians can complain, but we in the NDC we can't complain. We are Togolese, or we come from Mongolia. When the lights go off, it doesn't affect us because the light skips us. It only affects Ghanaians. But we come from Mongolia. We come from Azerbaijan. We come from Papua New Guinea, so we can't talk. When you and your flag bearer and Bawumia were all over the place waxing lyrical, holding yourselves out like peacocks and commenting on Doomso. Were you more Ghanaian than us? And if you put the discussion in context, I have said that we don't even deserve 1 minute of Doomso under the NPP. Because of their posture. If you condemn me for a supposed wrong, you are not allowed to even go near that wrong. It is a principle that if you don't understand, you don't have a business being in government. You must be thrown out at the earliest opportunity. If you condemn me, if I condemn you for a wrong, I cannot even say that I did a bit of your wrong. Otherwise, I deserve more punishment than you for being a hypocrite. A fawning hypocrite. Why? The problems that we faced at the time of low generation capacity, you have not faced it. You have never had a problem with generation capacity. And he was talking about take-or-pay clauses. Even your zip line contract about me is front, and there are take-or-pay clauses in there. They say that whether they fly or not, you must pay a flat rate. And I mean, all the power plants and agreements we've signed have take-or-pay under them, including the ones under this government. The AXA one, which they renewed a couple of months ago, it has capacity charges in there. They call it capital recovery payment. They have take-or-pay clauses in there. They are doing an LNG project in Tema. That contract has a take-or-pay clause in there, signed by this government. So how can you hate take-or-pay under the NDC and love take-or-pay under you? You don't eat pork, but you eat pork soup. What do you take Ghanaians for? That we wash our faces sideways or what? You, when we were in power, until the latter stages of our government, did we have a gas plant? That saves us $300 million. You came to inherit $300 million. You don't have to import. Which serious plans have you added since you came to power, apart from renewing what you came to meet?
Let me let him come in.
No, let me land. Let me land.
Land now.
And he says that nobody has died from doing so. That is a palpable falsehood. Look, on 20th March, just this year, there's a news report what I'll forward to you. 2 babies have died at the St. Anne's Hospital in Damongo in the Savannah region because the lights went off and doctors could not take care of them. Pulse Ghana reported it.
Oh.
So please, let nobody think that we are dullards in this country. This economy is not in better shape than it was under the NPP. There's no average or absolute figure analysis that bears that out.
Right.
Anybody who says that needs to have his head examined.